in front of me. I have spoken on a number of occasions about
You
the history.
turned your notes over to us. You didn't read them before you turned them over?
Senator, I've spoken on a number of occasions about the history. I was not speaking about...
Are you saying that you didn't say that?
Senator, I've spoken on a number of occasions about the history.
Are you saying that you didn't say that?
I have turned over all of my notes from my speeches.
I don't think you're telling the truth.
But that exchange you just watched is exactly why so many Americans feel disconnected from judicial confirmations today. Senator John Kennedy didn't raise his voice. He didn't insult anyone. He simply did what the Senate is supposed to do: ask direct questions and demand honest answers. What we saw here wasn't bullying. It was accountability. A judicial nominee was confronted with her own past statements and her own professional decisions, and instead of clear answers, we got deflections, memory lapses, and legal technicalities. And that matters, because lifetime judicial appointments require clarity, integrity, and credibility, not selective amnesia. If you care about transparency in government, real oversight, and holding powerful nominees to the same standard as everyday Americans, you're going to want to watch this full breakdown. I'm Audrey, this is Congress Lens. If you value unfiltered reactions to what really happens in Congress, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it.
Ms. Berner, you didn't tell Senator Graham the truth, did you?
Senator, I took an oath to tell the truth, and I have done so faithfully.
Now, on February 22nd, 2018, you spoke to the American Constitution Society, and this is what you said: the right to work movement is deeply racist. You said that, didn't you?
Senator, I do not have that speech in front of me. I have spoken on a number of occasions about the history.
You turned your notes over to us. You didn't read them before you turned them over?
Senator, I've spoken on a number of occasions about the history. I was not speaking about...
Are you saying that you didn't say that?
Senator, I've spoken on a number of occasions about the history.
Are you saying that you didn't say that?
I have turned over all of my notes from my speeches.
I don't think you're telling the truth, Ms. Berner. Let me ask you another question. Do you remember Mindy Sturges?
No, sir, I do not remember.
I'm embarrassed you don't remember her. She was one of your union members. She alleged that she was the victim of sexual discrimination at one of your local unions. This is what she said. She alleged that one of the executives there asked her, quote, if she enjoyed rough sex and bondage. She said that the chapter president, Mr. Dave Regan, asked her, quote, does the carpet match the drapes? And, quote, what would you do for some jewelry? She alleged that Mr. Regan told another staffer, quote, that the only way she is getting a job is if she sucks my member of the male anatomy. Another employee said in an affidavit that Mr. Reagan, quote, went around asking women if he could sniff their panties, close quote, at an October 2017 work party. She said another executive, quote, grabbed my upper thigh while I was driving. And she wrote you and asked you to investigate. And you said no, didn't you?
Senator, I have dedicated my career to representing women and families. That has been my work.
You said no, didn't you?
Senator...
You told her that let her own chapter represent or investigate its own misconduct, didn't you?
Senator, I'm going to give you additional time, but I want the witness to be able to fully answer the question.
Senator, the letter that you are quoting from, I wrote in my capacity as counsel to my client. It was the position of my client, and I was acting as an advocate.
You refused to investigate, though, didn't you?
Senator, I believe that I have faithfully adhered to my obligations as an attorney for my client.
I don't think Ms. Sturges would agree with you. In fact, Mr. Reagan, the chapter president, is still the president, isn't he?
I
You don't
believe
even know?
Dave Reagan is the president of one of our local union, of one of
Wow.
SEIU's local unions. Yes.
Wow. Mr. Mangy. I just want to be sure I understand your testimony, sir.
Now that we've watched the entire exchange, let's talk honestly about what just happened here, because this wasn't about political theater. This was about truth. Senator John Kennedy came prepared. He didn't speculate. He didn't rely on headlines. He quoted specific dates, specific speeches, and specific letters written by the nominee herself. First, let's address the 2018 speech to the American Constitution Society. Senator Kennedy directly asked whether the nominee described the right-to-work movement as deeply racist. That's not a minor statement. That's an ideological position, one that has legal, economic, and constitutional implications. Instead of a straightforward yes or no, the nominee repeatedly claimed she couldn't recall the language, despite being the speaker and despite submitting her notes. Senator John Kennedy called that out plainly. And frankly, he was right too. If you are seeking a federal judgeship, remembering the substance of your own public speeches isn't optional, it's essential. Then the questioning shifted to something far more serious. Senator John Kennedy laid out disturbing allegations made by Mindy Sturges, a union member who reported repeated sexual harassment by union executives. These weren't vague complaints. These were graphic, sworn allegations involving degrading comments, sexual coercion, and inappropriate physical behavior. And here's the key point. Mindy Sturges asked for help. She asked for an investigation. The nominee's response, by her own admission, was to allow the same chapter accused of misconduct to investigate itself. That alone raises serious ethical questions. Senator John Kennedy wasn't attacking anyone personally. He was asking a simple question: why wasn't this investigated independently? Instead of addressing the moral weight of the situation, the nominee repeatedly fell back on one defense. I was acting as an advocate for my client. But here's the problem with that defense. When you are being considered for a lifetime judicial role, the Senate is not just evaluating your legal skill, they're evaluating your judgment, your priorities, and your willingness to protect vulnerable people. Senator John Kennedy's questions exposed a pattern: avoidance instead of clarity, technical defenses instead of accountability, uncertainty where certainty should exist. And the most telling moment came at the end, when it became clear that one of the accused individuals, Dave Rein, still holds a leadership position. That's not a political gotcha. That's a red flag. What Senator John Kennedy demonstrated in this hearing is exactly what oversight is supposed to look like. Precise, unrelenting, focused on facts, not feelings. Whether you agree with his politics or not, this is the standard every nominee should be held to. Lifetime power requires lifetime scrutiny. And on this day, Senator John Kennedy did his job. That's my take. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did this nominee answer honestly, or did Senator John Kennedy expose something deeper? This is Audrey for Congress Lens. Stay informed. Stay sharp.